Another edition of Table Talk. This one, I expect this one to be a fun one. I am Mo Lightning. Below me, I don't think I've ever said that before, and it does sound kind of dirty. Lindsay, how are you?
Never gonna say that one again.
Nope, I'm not. I would move me, please. No, I'm doing great.
That's why she always makes sure that she is like the second one in on these chats to be able to get to my left. Of course, to my left is the WWE Hall of Famer, 25,
Yes.
4-time World Tag Team Champion, Dvon Dudley. Dvon, I gotta say, you look different today. You look great.
I just got highlights. I stayed out of the sun for the last.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going there. I gotta be careful. No. Yeah, just a wig. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks good. I didn't even recognize
it. Looks so realistic. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I can never step into the shoes of Dvon, but I'm trying today. Yes, I'm here to. I'm so happy you guys invited me.
Thank you
thanks
so much.
for returning to Table Talk. You were on a couple months ago when we kind of expected, the pandemic will be over by then, but no, we're still here, still doing our thing.
But did we think that it was just going to wrap up?
What's going on, Brian? How you doing? Dvon put Waldo through a table, took his job. Well, about that. So Dvon had a bit of a family emergency. Unfortunately, he could not join us this week. And I'm going to be honest with you, Lindsay. I considered seeing how far we can go into the show without acknowledging his absence.
That would have been amazing. I don't think anybody would have even known.
No, just like, hey, everybody, it's Mo, Lindsay, Sarah. This is Table Talk.
Hey.
Or you just could have kept running on that I was Dvon and see how long that would go.
Right,
see what impressions would have been.
Gosh. All right, let's start over.
Okay. All right.
Got it.
Okay.
So
3,
No.
2.
The gimmick's passed. The gimmick's passed.
It's over. It's a live stream, unfortunately. I hate to be that guy to say it, but we had a surprise guest in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but he never returned our tweets, so he's not showing up today.
Well, didn't you? I told you I was close to being him. I've done some push-ups today. I went to the University of Miami, and I work for WWE. So I mean, like, close. We are very basically
same person.
the same.
So, do we call you the Scribe?
Yes,
Ooh, I love it.
I'll take that. Can we have a T-shirt that says the Scribe? I want the Scribe T-shirt.
If you smell what the Scribe is cooking, is that too copywritten?
I didn't cook anything today. I got a bagel from Brooklyn Bagel. So yeah, we did cook a Thanksgiving meal this past week, but not great cook.
Thanksgiving's next week, though.
Yeah, early bird special. Just a week early bird special.
Yeah. Are you doing anything for Thanksgiving?
Jersey. I get to go home for a little. Just my parents, keeping it really small. But of course, my mother already wrote me about setting the table. My mother always had me iron the linens. That was my job for Thanksgiving. I don't know if you guys have jobs like that your mother still to this day. I am a grown woman, I swear, but still there are childhood duties that you never lose.
Setting the table. Mine was always making the water when I was little, pouring the water.
Right.
And
that was still
getting
my
the
job
ice
too.
Ready. I think that's all, because my sister was like making the casserole. My other sister was making deviled eggs, and I got to make the ice.
Are you the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, get out of here. You got away with that then.
I think that's why. Oh, bless her. She can't do that.
My gig was pretty easy, I think, overall. I got to be the babysitter. So I was like, stay out of the kitchen, stay out of the dining room, entertain your little nephews and niece. Like, just entertain the kids.
Right.
I'm like, okay, all right.
Oh,
right.
Man,
You're the showman. You have to do this. You have to do the song and dance for them, basically.
Yeah. It was easy for me. I was fine with it. Sarah can do it all. Absolutely. She's got cooking and cleaning. Well, not cooking, but she's got the cleaning going on in the background.
I do. You get a day off, and that's what you do. I had like maybe 3 loads of laundry that was just in the guest bedroom, just on the bed, just sitting there. It's like, how long do you let that clean clothes just sit there? I mean, you guys know.
I was going to say probably a long time for me.
Yeah.
Until they're dirty again.
So much more beautiful
Truly.
today. Byron's not sure why, but just something about today's show a little bit easier.
Mo, you look great. Is that do you trim your facial hairs differently or something? Just like really clean it up, or the hair
today? I put a comb to it. I mean,
beautiful.
That's good.
I did what I could there. So a lot of people asking, is there a guest coming? And to that, unfortunately not. With Dvon's family emergency, we had a guest scheduled, but he didn't feel comfortable bringing the guest on without him being around. And I want to point out Sarah here, Dvon, the Shrock, the Shribe, whatever you want to call her, because some people are saying the Shrock.
The Shrock.
That's so good.
Well, the Shrock is bagelin.
Yes. I do find myself to be a bagel connoisseur. It is something that I'm very proud of. But I am very difficult to the local Florida bagelries.
Okay. All right. Hold that thought real quick. I want to finish my thought real quick. That Sarah here is not our guest. She's a co-host here on the show.
Right.
If you do have questions for her, feel free to drop them in the chat. At the same time, since she is a co-host today, you feel free to give her the same crap that you give me, Dvon, or Lindsay.
Come on, bring it. I got to be careful.
All right. Bagel connoisseur.
Well,
Okay, tell us more.
I think that's just from the Northeast. I don't know. I tailor ham, egg, and cheese on a everything bagels like the go-to. It's something that's very prideful, I think, in the Northeast, and you judge the quality of bagel. And we have, I guess I'm going to get Einsteins are like what we have locally.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's just not enough fluff, texture to the bagel.
Oh, there she goes.
And no, so there's the closest that they could do, and they always blame it on the water. It's the same thing with like pizza. You've heard that, right? No?
No, I don't hear people. Okay, so I'm near Chicago, so we don't blame anything on water. It's we got the best pizza, blah blah blah, whatever. But
okay, so what kind of pizza do you eat? Do you do the deep dish, or you do thin crust? The deep dish is aggressive.
Deep dish could be a bit much, especially if you get it from the wrong place, just like your Einstein bagels. If you get it from the wrong place, then forget about it. I don't know. I guess it's crazy to say. I'm probably more of a New York pizza sort of guy.
That's exactly. The thinner the crust, the more you can eat.
I like it. I was just in Connecticut, and I had some really good pizza in New Haven. That's up there, right? It's good stuff.
It's up there. It's good stuff.
That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't really get pizza down here, but I do know I'm going next week, and we usually do, which I assume is probably one of the busiest pizza nights of the year, the night before Thanksgiving.
Really? I did not know that.
Would you think? It'd be the biggest takeout.
It would make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to cook the night before Thanksgiving.
2020, I don't know how this year is going to affect it, but it was actually the second biggest drinking day of the year, too.
Always. Yes, of course. That would be the time you'd go and see all your high school friends that you haven't seen in ages at the local pub. It would be,
You need that. You realize you're spending time with your family, so you may need to get a head start.
Of course. That is very true. So then it cruises into Thanksgiving, right? So from the night before, you just keep going on that path.
It's a constant like buzz that you're kind of creating until the big day.
Till you fly out after Thanksgiving.
Yes. And then one last drink on the plane.
Yeah.
And then you land and you can't find your car. Or is that just me?
That happened? I felt like that was a true story.
I don't know. It sounds like something that's probably happened to me. I don't remember. I was probably drinking.
And there you have it.
Speaking of you drinking, without Dvon, what was your wine preparations of the week, Lindsay?
My wine. Well, I have my go-to, but I also, there's no Dvon here. I just have some coffee. My good old caffeine. I don't really need it.
She cracks open a lot of wine during these shows, Sarah.
Oh, wait. I respect that. I have wine in the fridge if you need someone to be there with you. That's a constant. Do you not? What's in your cup right now?
This is it's a rosé.
Oh, it really is. Oh
yeah, it is. Yeah.
I respect that so much because I feel like one of my first like podcast kind of things I did. I definitely made sure that I put it in a coffee cup.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, do you think people at late night talk shows do that? Or is it just water?
I I've wondered that. I think sometimes the way they drink it, it looks like it's just water because they're like chugging it. But
the guest.
Yeah.
I would need something in my coffee mug that's not water. But that's just me, obviously.
One of my mom's favorite go-to for me is like for advice would be have a schluck of something. If I was nervous or anxious about something, even something with work, she would say, just have a schluck of something. Schluck would just like, have a swig of something. And I'm like, Mom. Yeah. So it was like her go-to saying. And I didn't go have schluck. You have to be a professional. Be a professional. On here though, we're having fun. It's cash,
This is, my first episode before we were just on radio, or what is it called?
We were an audio
recording,
audio only podcast for a while.
You guys couldn't see me do this.
Right.
We're talking about wrestling. I don't know a lot about wrestling, and I'm nervous anyway. So I'm just like, I need something to calm my nerves. Yeah. We just kind of formed a thing. It's a thing.
So you get it. Have a schluck of
it's
something.
A habit. Whatever. Yeah. It's a schluck of something. That's my new thing. I'm gonna need that on my mug.
Yeah, just have a schluck of something. I like that.
So Sarah, you in the wrestling world there, if you were going to recommend a storyline, a match, or something for Lindsay to ease into the wrestling experience, what would you recommend to her?
Oh, you're saying be like to ease into it.
Or dive right in, maybe. Whatever you think is best.
To get me hooked. What do you think?
It's so funny because I was going to say, piggybacking off of that about my mom, like she's had a break from when we were kids and used to watch, but now she jumps in and honestly, if I show you some of the text, as I'm going through the show, she literally, the show wasn't even over on Monday. And she just wrote Drew ! He's back, and then like, it's also really funny. My mother sends me clips of my interview that I just did to the whole family. Anyway, Drew McIntyre is just a fun, he's a fantastic personality and incredibly passionate, very handsome gentleman. And he's had a storyline also, yes, with Randy Orton, and they've had history.
And Orton is considered a pretty man as well. So
yeah, so that's what I'm going to tell you. In the moral of the story is, I've had the privilege to interview these guys, and they honestly they are real life superheroes, like in front of me, just these massive, but really entertaining, but also incredibly talented. That is some great eye candy, but also incredible talents. So I don't want to take that away from it, but that I will tell you that is one of my mother's favorite storylines to connect to.
I like it.
So literally, I had a backstage interview with Drew right after the show, and I was like so close to being like, Drew, I already got a message from my mother, so congratulations. Like,
I heard you know.
I would say.
On that general topic, Laura wants to know how much I have to pay you to co-host with me today.
In booze. I'm just kidding.
That's how you do it. Yeah,
I'm just drinking a LaCroix.
A LaCroix.
Okay.
Do you guys have LaCroix, or is this a Florida thing?
No, we have it.
No, we have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with water. I'm boring today. I don't drink. I'm the weird one. So, like, Lindsay's really happy to be able to talk wine with somebody right now.
I feel like such a lush on this show. And I was like, I don't drink. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'll drink for you.
Yeah, of course. I do not have the special mug, but next time, of course, because I just invited myself one more time, I promise you I will.
I still have my red cup from when the Street Profits were out.
You do? Yeah.
Oh man, one time when I was living in LA, I had a bunch of group of friends we went down to the volleyball nets on Santa Monica Beach, and the lifeguard came up to us, and we were all drinking out of red Solo cups, and he's like, we all went to college, we know what's in those cups. And that was like his line, that we shouldn't be drinking on the beach. And I was like, what if we didn't all go to college? And maybe it wasn't that, sir. Like, it was just his line of snarkiness about the red Solo cup. I'll never forget that.
Thank you for assuming.
Yeah, don't assume. We're athletes.
Thank you for assuming I'm smart.
Yeah, I was like, we are athletes. We need to stay hydrated, as we are fantastic at beach volleyball. which was not the case.
Sir.
Yeah.
got a great suggestion from Daniel there, Lindsay. You need to make a shirt out of that. Enough lush for everyone.
I love it. All right, let's make it happen. We'll sell it at Wrestling Audio.
And Byron, jealous of me today. It's all right. 2020 is a wild year, my friend.
It is.
So when you're doing these backstage stuff, when you're doing the interviews with Drew, Randy, or whoever, how much notice and warning do you get before you do these segments?
You know, it all depends on the day.
Okay.
I don't know if I told this story the last time. It's all interesting because, segments can go long, segments can go short. So obviously with live TV, we have to be quick on our toes because, we'll have a full scripted show, but if we have a long first segment, a promo in the ring goes a little longer, things get cut. Or something goes short. Maybe, for example, if there was possibly an injury and or just something, an ending wrapped up, a match wrapped up. So they might throw in an interview. So primarily we have like the day, the script, and we know what we're doing, but there's always a chance. But one of the biggest moments I've had where it was like out of body. I don't think I told this story last time. I'm sitting near Gorilla because I'm always near Gorilla watching the show in between backstage live interviews that I can do some digital content and see what's going on. Of course, right? Know the show. And so I'm sitting there and Eric Rowan, he was doing the bit with the cage. The spider.
Yeah. Yeah, the spider they crushed after like 1 week. Yeah.
Yeah, like let's just step on him. So anyhow, I'm sitting there and they're like, we need a backstage. Vince wants a backstage interview. Get in there right now. Get into Gorilla. And like Gorilla is where all the producer sits, timekeeper, all of that. So I'm like, he just comes up to me, Mr. McMahon, Vince, and it's like, Sarah, I'm not going to do an impression. I should not do an impression of my boss. But it was one of these out-of-body experiences where all of a sudden my boss is talking to me, the creator, what he does for this company. It's this out-of-body like, oh my goodness, he's talking to me. And I'm just thinking that. But then all of a sudden I'm like, he's giving me what I need to say in that moment. And we're about to go live in less than 10 seconds. Like I hear the countdown. So it was one of those moments where like, did not know that was happening. And then of all people to give me the direction and the lines that I was going to say, or the question that he wanted me to ask or whatever, it was the man, VKM, like Mr. McMahon is telling me. And it was one of the most out of body live situations where you're like, get out of your head. Stop thinking don't think about what's happening. Just do it. But also one of my favorite stories, Oh,
absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I think that's the beauty of live TV, that sometimes those moments are the most memorable, but also sometimes your adrenaline spikes real high. You're just like, just stay out of the brain and just do your work.
Yeah.
I would be a different story. I'd just be like, I'm so sorry. What?
This one's pretty cool here. I always loved the chemistry Sarah had with Eli Drake back in her Impact days.
I think that might be Mackenzie.
Yeah.
But we get that. Listen, it's the thing that happens. The blondes, like Lindsay and I are basically the same person right now.
We are. And we're also
we truly are. And we're the Rock.
Right,
It's not true. But it's really funny. Like how much I get Renee is like Renee, Mackenzie, blondes. Like Kayla told me, Kayla Braxton, right when she joined, like that was like basically what happens. All of a sudden it's like you're just you're somebody else too. Like it just everyone thinks you're somebody, which is okay. I am flattered and try to have the best chemistry with whoever I'm interviewing. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean it's I feel bad because you shared spotlight, I believe, with Zelina on Table Talk when you were here, and you had mentioned her as one of your favorite interviewers. Unfortunately, Zelina no longer with the company. So who's next in line? Who's your favorite to work with?
Well, I would definitely have to say Miss. And first of all, I like to say, sending a great love and success for Zelina and her future endeavors, and an outrageous, passionate, talented, awesome individual. She's going to do awesome. And then I would have to say about now, my favorite is definitely going to be Miss Nikki Cross.
Nice.
She's one of my best buds. So, man, she's she's a obviously awesome wrestler, but an awesome actress. Like, I think she does such a great job, super honest. But also she just is fun. Mm-hmm. Like, her energy is awesome. And she's a riot and smart as heck. So
I think Lindsay and I could probably agree with that. We had her on the same episode with Alexa, and she held her own. I mean, Alexa obviously is mega super popular. Soup made a song about her. I mean, like, Alexa, she's like up here, but then Nikki comes on and completely holds her own.
A ball of energy, like just fiery and hysterical. And this time last year, we were touring Europe. We were in the WWE Live tour. We were in Scotland together. So I got to see her go back to Glasgow, her hometown, and I got to announce her. And that was probably one of the most epic moments for her, but for me to be so proud as her friend. I told her the other day, I was like, I don't know if you know this, but I was like, I get a little like verklempt. I got a little emotional just because I feel like when you get to watch somebody do what they love and succeed at the top of their game, it's just a full circle that I get emotional about. I can't help it.
That's good. Good. You like to see people succeed. I don't think that's a bad trait at all.
Yeah, I do. I truly do. Yeah. Well, there's just so many sacrifices I think so many people make in careers like this. And then when her whole family was there, it all paid off. Her family got to see working for the biggest international sports entertainment company in her hometown at a stadium she probably grew up watching, shows like this. That's an out-of-body experience, I feel like, for an individual. Just
Absolutely.
Daniel says he likes Nikki Cross because she likes fuzzy guys. He's a fuzzy guy. And I get it. Fuzzy guy. Go Killian Dane.
Yeah. Fuzzy guys.
With that said, this is actually one of the topics I had in my radio show, actually just this morning. Do you like men with beards? And I'm not asking for me, I promise. But Sarah, we'll start with you. Bearded guys. So
my whole thing, I was going to piggyback off of fuzzy guys. My boyfriend is an all natural type dude. He's a surfer bro, and he's not I shouldn't say. I think he'd be upset with me calling him that. And his name's Chad. Like, he's a Chad.
Okay. No, Chad.
Yeah, exactly. But he's a furry dude. Like, he just like, he had dreads at one point before I knew him, and let his like hair grow long. So he's a bearded fella, and I love a good beard. I think it's really great. It's manly. I think when he shaved the other day, because we did Austin Powers and Fembot for Halloween, and he shaved, and it's always that moment of like, whose face is that? Whose face is that? Like, you roll over. Yeah, exactly. It's the chin that all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're like a different.
Oh, can you throw that back, please? I don't like your chin.
So when he shaves, does he look younger then?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm like the one guy in the world that looks older when I shave.
Really?
I look like Paul Giamatti when I shave this off. And that's, if I had his acting ability, that's one
I was saying brilliant actor. Sideways is one of my favorate movies.
But
not Truth or Merlot.
Just for appearances, I don't want to look like Paul Giamatti. So that's why I grow this out and just really, Lindsay, what about you? What do you think about facial hair?
Well, I mean, when I grow mine out, it's people don't like it. So,
I thought they love it.
She's
unique. She's original. I like her.
Yeah. For guys. Is that okay? I like it a lot. I haven't really dated a lot of fuzzy guys, but I think it's something my sister's husband, not that I know it's kind of weird. I've known him from
where are we going here?
Babyface. No. When they first met Babyface, he's adorable, but now he's very distinguished looking. He's got that beard, and it's just a very he looks mature and not as goofy, I think. And I like that. I personally like it. He doesn't watch this; it's fine.
Okay, got it. Understood.
I like it. I prefer.
Okay. All right.
So,
you use the word mature, and that's one of the big things. So the updated 2020 survey about what women want from men's facial hair, 86% of women say they want a guy with facial hair, and that's like the highest number I've ever seen in my life.
That's very interesting. That's because I do think that like there's the clean cut buzz where it's just a little bit. But here's the deal: is like I'm gonna be straight up here. With someone that's a baby face but still gets a little bit of scruff. When you rub against that, it hurts.
Yeah.
Like the 2 days, like, or just even like the day of shaving. Italian men, please. It's the day of. But don't tell my boyfriend. That was in the past. Anywho, I was going to piggyback off of this is that I'm not going to say piggyback ever again. I said it twice already. We're good. I promise.
Lindsay, take a drink every time she says it.
Yes, true.
Say no more.
I actually met my boyfriend. It was wrapping up of Movember.
Yep.
So he had a handlebar mustache, or I don't want to say anything if anything's offensive. Fu Manchu. I don't think are they offensive?
I think that's okay still.
Okay, wasn't sure. And it was so funny because I met him with that, and I was moved from LA to Florida, and I was like, and that's what I said. I was like, ooh, who's this guy with this unique personality that's like willing to do fun like facial hair? And then he tried to do it again like later on, and he met people from work that I work with, and I was like, no more of that. I know that we met like this, but
Keep that for memory.
I don't know if I hold on to that. Yeah, it's a fun memory.
I will say the other big word that women use towards facial hair, masculine. So Lindsay said less goofy, but
Less
masculine
goofy,
may have been the word.
Because you don't want to, I don't know, my brother-in-law, you're so masculine. You're goofy. You used to be goofy, now you're not so goofy.
He watches Just Today. Like today.
Yeah, right.
This is the one day.
Let's check out the show that Lindsay does every week.
No.
Well, I would assume if we go back to like animalistic nature, right? Caveman, like the hairier the man, the more, I don't know. It is masculine. And I feel like women must, I don't know. If we think about the animal, anyway, that's like nature.
Okay, Mo, you're good.
Now, here's the secret about me. I can grow this in like 2 days. Like I could shave and this will be back by Friday. It's ridiculous. But I have like 10 chest hairs. And like that's about it.
Isn't that so weird?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, I can't. I have no idea.
There was one time, it was about 10 years ago, I had high blood pressure and they had like a new nurse do an EKG on me and she screwed it up and it was faulty after all was said and done. But at the time it said that I had a heart attack-like event. So they wanted to do all these tests, which meant they had to shave my chest. And I'm like, no, I've spent 30 years of my life growing these. Don't do that to me.
I worked so hard.
So they compensated by only doing like stripes. And I'm like, that's even worse. Come on.
That is worse. That's definitely worse.
No, it's like
or you could meet a lady like I and say, who might say, ooh, he's got personality. Look at those interesting stripes.
I wonder if that's natural if he does that himself.
You know, Jeff Hardy can get away with stripes in his beard, but I don't think I could
I don't know.
get away with that. But
I mean,
odd question, but I think a lot of people have been having issues this year. Lindsay, we'll start with you. How have you been sleeping this year?
I have actually not been sleeping well this year. It's very interesting. I've always been such a good sleeper. Time for bed. All right, out. I wake up at night now in the middle of the night. I have to fall asleep with white noise. I don't know what it is. Is it the stress? I don't know. But no, I think maybe spring, I noticed it.
Okay.
It's really, I miss my sleep. I miss it.
Is it when we went to video and you had to look at Dvon on a weekly basis?
Actually, now that I think about it, it is around the same time.
Timing's coincidental.
So interesting.
What about you, Sarah? How you been sleeping?
Well, thanks for asking. I really appreciate it. I'm just kidding. It's interesting because I feel like I'm always a wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning kind of person. And it's then the brain goes rapidly about certain things, whether it's work or whether it's creative thoughts or stress, or it's just that I drank too much water before and have to use the bathroom, which is usually the case. And I'm like, don't look at your phone. Don't start thinking. You won't be able to go back to sleep. And then there's the anxiety on top of that where you're like, don't think, go back to sleep. And you're like, oh, I won't be able to go back to sleep. Or can I? And you're just like, why is my brain doing this to me? But I also just got a king size bed this not too long ago, moving into my new place, and that's done wonders. I have the Lisa pillow. What is it? Hybrid, where it's the one that they just deliver, and then all of a sudden it just rolls out, and like it's magic. Yeah. So I actually thought I was sleeping great for a while, but recently not as well, just based off of I don't know. I guess it's the anxiety of what's happening, or just me waking up and then my brain just gets in the way sometimes.
What happens to me?
Daniel's winning the comments today. Says that Lindsay's got PTSD. Dvon.
Daniel, God, you're so right.
That's good.
That's exactly what
that
it is.
Amazing. That's my favorite comment we've had in a long time.
That needs to be on a shirt. Or my
I also imagine, Sarah, you probably do the thing. We all do the thing where you want to go back to bed, but you have to get up, go pee. And so like you rush, but you don't rush too fast because you don't want to get the adrenaline going. But then you're afraid to open your eyes too much. So you're like, stay asleep, asleep.
Yes. And and avoid the phone as soon as you pick up the phone. And I think the phone has a lot to do with it. It's the light. I think the scrolling, the habit of scrolling and things like that. I think our brains are just not calm these days.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was going with it. 51% of Americans have said this year that they have trouble sleeping because of everything going on with the nervousness, the anxiety of paying bills. How are you going to be able to afford rent this month? When am I going back to work? Am I going to catch the virus? Am I going to get the Rona? I mean, like, that's all the typical stuff. But when you start diving into a little bit further into this list, there's some very interesting items on here. One of them makes sense. You could probably lump it in with everything else. Too much news is causing people to lose sleep.
Of course, it's like the ticker that's always going. Like whether it's going with which I literally have, as I look towards the TV, I have the news on.
Yeah.
So there's that. But also it's the constant information all the time. But it's just it is and it still is. It's a crazy year. With so much none of us could expect. I love saying, what we learned about the people that we are either living with or loved, that we are in a pandemic.
Loved. I like that.
Sorry, I didn't
loved at one point.
Not anymore.
Sorry. It's interesting. I bet you that's a statistic as well. Probably a very high statistic of breakups. I found that it supported our relationship. It's just that we're eating more than we used to. We cook a lot, and like that's the thing that's been I'm just supporting small business, local business by eating out every day. That's why I'm
that's what I'm doing too.
I've been very conscious of trying not to go on Amazon. It's just so easy. Shame on us, but I mean, so but it is about, but it's hard. Where I went to a record store, actually the beginning of this, and they were great. They weren't open. And I called him, I told him what I was looking for, which I want to try to think of trying to think of what records I got. Pepper, and I'll think about the other one. Okay. And he had him, I paid on the phone, and he put him outside, and I just picked him up.
Nice.
So he did a nice job, and where it's those kind of customer service things, you just want to keep going back and like making sure they're doing all right. Yeah.
Absolutely. So too much news. That's a gimme, especially with the election. Fake news, real news.
I know what's fake and what's real.
Confirmed, they're not confirmed. I mean, it's hard to keep up with all.
Have you guys been? I've been doing the avoiding, and I think a lot of people are doing that right now. I was very passionate with getting people out to vote and all of that. I want people. It was very important. Obviously, everybody came out for it. However, now I'm at the muted. It's muted. Yeah. It's muted in the background. It's a lot. It's just so much for us to. I've read articles about how what's happening right now. I don't think it's comparable to emotions that people feel during wars.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
today, I don't even have. Today, right now, it marks the 1-year anniversary of the first confirmed case of coronavirus, COVID-19.
Wow. Okay, I gotta go get a drink. Come on. And that's where I go get my mug.
Yeah, it happened in China before, the Wuhan flu or whatever they call it happened. But the next thing, and Lindsay, maybe this is your problem, maybe it's not your problem. Drinking too much is the reason why people aren't sleeping.
Yeah. Well, that's not new for me. It's a thing that I've dealt with my whole life. Since
All right. Well,
21.
maybe you relate to this last one. This is the one that really stands out to me. And we'll get your take on this in a moment, Sarah. The last item that people are losing sleep over in 2020, staying up too late, and this is specific, to watch all of Tiger King.
That's not real. You just
I wish. And why do you think I brought this up?
That's fake news.
That's what got my attention to this article, is the Tiger King.
I mean, you binge it really quickly in 48 hours. You're like, good. It's not cause the problem.
I don't think I
Changing
lost
life.
sleep over time. I think I watched it and then went to bed at an appropriate time and then got up the next morning and first thing watched it.
Well,
I
you
got
have
my
more
sleep in.
self-control than a lot of people, because this, swear to God, was one of the highest ranking options.
Well, I was going to say, I have watched more shows like binging than I have in a very long time. I was very much, have a show, but don't watch it all the time. We weren't really TV watchers too much. And now we go from series to series. We're at Schitt's Creek right now.
Okay. All right.
So good. Great British Baking Show. I just started a bit, which that's just absurdity and wonderful.
What is your thoughts on Lucifer?
Oh, I never watched it.
Yes. All right. I'd give you a high five if I could, but I can't. Lindsay and Dvon are obsessed with that show.
Okay. I'm
show.
writing
So,
notes.
I probably lost sleep over Lucifer by staying up too late to watch that, but not Tiger King.
Yeah.
He's so pretty.
I've done that with like Stranger Things. I will always binge. Like I am upset. Like that's the number one thing. Like we need that right now.
That's the only thing we're missing right now is I need Stranger Things.
Like that should just keep filming. Of course we want everybody to be healthy, but like do not take breaks. We want the Stranger
Things. Let those kids still work. Come on. They don't need it. They're fine. They don't need to learn. They don't need school. They need to keep filming.
Exactly. They are aging rapidly. Get it in now. Do it like Harry Potter.
Yes.
These kids going to be dealing with it well into their middle age, nursing home. These guys are not going to be able to escape that. But that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have there. What other shows would you recommend to us, Sarah?
We loved watching Narcos, which I was late to the party with Narcos. So of course, Stranger Things was just epic because it was so specific to that like time period for so many of us. Like it was the combination, the Goonies kind of energy and tea and the music. Like it just all of a sudden fuels you. Just like, we bring back memories. Like just the music right from the top.
My daughter loves the Neverending Story song now.
Whatever it takes. Such a great movie.
Takes.
Such a great movie. Don't tell me that horse scene. Don't tell me that Atreyu scene didn't crush you as a child.
It's one of those things that I feel like comes back to like haunt you, where you're like, was that a terrible dream or was that really from a movie I watched? And it was from a movie,
Because you're such an impressionable age when you watch it, and then you're like thinking about it. Like, was that just it really happened?
It's heavy. It's heavy as a kid. I mean, it's like Bambi's parents and mom getting shot. And, that's crazy, right?
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah, tugging at the heartstrings. That's what they do. Capture your emotions.
I'm surprised I was allowed to watch that as much as I was as a kid. And I ended up watching Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom 64 straight days in a row. I'd go to school. I would come home.
I'm slow clapping that.
Turn on. And then, like, the guy's heart gets ripped out. They're eating monkey brains. My parents are like, he's calm. It's fine.
Oh, man.
He's not getting in trouble.
I'm a Last Crusader. Like, that was it's in my top 5 movies of all time is Indiana Jones Last Crusade.
Okay, what's the rest of them? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Let me have my beautiful memory of Last Crusade. But I just rewatched it probably the week before Sean Connery passed. And just the relationship between him and Harrison Ford, it was just brilliantly executed. Oh, yeah. Jaws is one of my number one, I would say. The thing that I must say about talking about favorite movies is that it usually goes back, like I said, to awesome memories with family. Like we would sit around and watch Jaws together.
Huh, okay. All right.
Interesting family.
I don't
This
know.
is what's going to happen if you don't eat your broccoli, Sarah.
I mean, I guess I'm super Spielberg person. So like Jurassic Park was also that. He just is so great at telling a story. Like we just said earlier, with obviously the sadness of pulling your heartstrings with Bambi and A Never Ending Story. Spielberg storytelling is unbelievable, and how obviously we all know the stories with Jaws and not working, and you didn't see the villain till like midpoint of the movie. I just, the connection that you have with the characters that he writes, how the performers and the actors. Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws was just so good. What About Bob? This is a good movie.
Nice.
Yep.
Baby
I forgot
Steps.
about that movie. Yeah.
Bill
What
Murray.
else? What else, Sarah?
Did you
you're
guys
up next? Get ready.
Do you like Empire Records? Do you remember that was a good movie? I loved back in the day.
I loved that movie.
Yeah, that was one of the movies I would watch with my girlfriend and just obsessed with. I actually, I don't know if you're Mo. You said you lived in LA for a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the Hollywood Cemetery movie nights?
I wanted to. I never did.
I went to one. It was for Empire Records, and I actually got a picture with the cast, and I dressed up, and it was just so wild. And I was like, oh, my 13, 14, 15. I don't remember how old I was. Self was just loving it. Major crush on Ethan Embry.
Okay. All right. Lindsay, what about you? What are some of your movies?
So I'm just thinking like Sarah, like going back to ones that from my younger days. I'm trying to think.
It could be today. It doesn't have to be younger days.
No, but these are
whatever you
ones that
like watching now.
I'm trying to think of what I've watched now.
I don't watch a lot of movies right now. Or if I do, none have really stuck out. I know my first R-rated movie was Man in the Moon.
Oh my God, I love first. Mine was The Crow.
Was that R-rated? Or was it Hand That Rocks the Cradle?
Oh, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle
was it.
Messed up.
I was so young when I watched that. That explains a lot.
I went to see The Crow and told my parents I was going to see Three Ninjas.
Nice.
That was a good one.
Did you guys ever watch the movie 1201? Do you remember that one?
No.
I don't even remember what it's about, but I just remember watching it with my dad, and I wasn't supposed to.
Well, never mind my follow-up question of what's it about.
I don't know.
It
turns 1201, and the world's supposed to end, but it doesn't.
Oh, so it was. What was that? 1999.
No, it's like the time.
No, I know, but do you remember that? What was when in the year 1999 when it was going to 2000? We all thought the world was going to end. There it is, right?
The computers, you had to turn them off or install this important software so it wouldn't restart or shut down your computer.
That was wild. I guess they were more nervous. Were they more nervous about banking?
Yeah, because a lot of the computer coding only had 2 digits instead of 4 digits. So if it went back to 00, it would scrap everything.
Yeah.
Instead of 2000, then just counting back up there. So mine actually, it's funny that we brought that up, and that's the segue. My all-time favorite movie is Office Space.
Oh,
yes,
good one.
See, I have a really poor memory, but you say it.
I swear, I'm one of the 6 people that saw it in the theater. I loved it then. It's about the Y2K switch over, taking the little money out of the system. If you've ever hated a job, even if you've never worked in an office, if you've ever disliked a job, watch Office Space. You'll appreciate it.
Yeah, so I do think people don't. Some people might not know Office Space is such a wild concept, but it is true. It is a smaller niche kind of movie. The flair, wasn't it Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah.
The flair at Applebee's, if you
will. Pieces of flair at Josh's. Yeah.
And
I know way too much about that movie. I was talking to Diedrich Bader, who played the neighbor on the movie, and he was promoting his ABC show. And he goes, well, since you're such a big Office Space fan, let's just talk about Office Space. And I was in heaven. The next 8-minute interview, nothing but Office Space talk. Oh, it was so great. We got a comment from AC here. Can you at least turn on random Dvon photoshopped photos? It's like he's really there. Sarah, I don't think your episode embraced any of the Dvon photoshops I like to do.
No, it didn't. I don't think we had that.
So And Dvon never knows it's coming. I never give him a heads up that any of this is happening. So, like when Sasha Banks was on, I wanted to imagine what he would look like if he was a legit boss.
Oh my God, so good.
Oh, Dvon.
And he's so pretty. He's so pretty.
Yeah,
He was
he
actually
is.
quite proud of that one.
Yeah.
And then if he was a member of the New Day.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that Devon's butt's in your face, Lindsay.
Sorry.
Oh, shoo.
And I'm not going to go through all of them, but I want to help AC out on this one. This one I didn't even do. I just found this on the internet and thought this was fun. Total Dvon.
Yes. Such attitude and sass.
Look at that. Look at that. It's
Smolder.
like all those roles. He's born for it.
He's working it right there.
Can we get a little testify?
I had known with more advance notice that you were going to be on the show, Sarah, I probably would have photoshopped you into something.
Well, someday.
Maybe as a member of Weezer, because she and I, Lindsay, Sarah and I had a moment earlier on her Instagram because she was wearing a Weezer tank top.
Yep.
And so I had to call her out. What's your favorite Weezer song? And you said Island in the Sun.
I can't help it. I mean, there's so many great ones. I literally then listened to Weezer the rest of the day when I was in the car. Well, not currently, but no, they were my number one to see for a while. I saw them at Bottle Rock in Napa, which is a really cute, it's super cool. Hello there, TJ Risk. How are you doing? Saw them at Bottle Rock. It's in Napa.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there like third or fifth year or so. But it's great. It's all the Lindsay, like it's all the vineyards in Napa. They have little booths.
Oh man.
And they have multiple stages.
She doesn't even need the concert at that point. She just needs the winery.
The concert's just a bonus.
Yeah, it starts at like 10 in the morning. I remember at 3 o'clock, I was like, I need food. And my girlfriend and I just got like ribs and like a turkey leg. We're like,
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Putting you on the spot again. Favorite concert you've ever been to, Sarah?
Just saw the Stones. And that I saw
Not
that.
the Rolling Stones, just like a band down the road. They play at the local bar.
Yeah.
But just the Stones.
No, I saw them. Are you guys getting bad feedback? I just want to make sure.
I hear it just a little bit.
Okay, just want to make sure. So I saw the Rolling Stones. There was a hurricane last fall. And they had also Mick had heart surgery. So they canceled that and pushed it. But basically everybody was leaving Miami and I was like, I'm going to the concert. And so we went and it was just epic. It downpoured on us at the last finale of the show.
Again, Daniel's winning today's comments. Good thing Weezer didn't go into the clothing business. It shut down fast. Their sweaters are not durable.
Hey! Good one.
Well done. Lindsay, what about you? I don't think we've ever talked really concert experiences on the show before.
Concert. I love concerts. I love music. I'm trying to think. Recently, I was able to go to a Kiss concert.
Okay.
And I
That
feel
was
like it was just
that right before shutdown. I remember they were touring.
It was a couple of years before. It was. I saw them at it was at a Comic-Con. I was able to meet Gene Simmons, and then that night I got to go to. It was like out of the blue, so that was the most spur of the moment concert I think I've ever been to.
I prefer Mini Kiss. To be honest with you, that's the little person version of Kiss, but that's just me. That's
okay. I mean, whatever works for you. Great.
I think I have told this story before, but since he's on here, AC that asked about the Dvon Photoshops. I used to be his boss back at a former radio station years ago, and I got to control all the passwords. So every day he had to log in to the system with the password "Kiss sucks." And I think he could change the password if he wanted to, but I would override it every day, so it didn't really matter.
It's a good joke. That's a funny joke. Cool. I like that bit.
Yeah. Daniel, who was on the ball today, 311. Open lawn, played for 3 hours. Good group of guys. I got to meet them actually just last year. And
oh, cool.
No, my favorite concert experience, I think, was Rob Zombie. Back in 2001. I had an intern who was 6'10". So Monster Scott is what I call this guy, intern Monster Scott. And he was the nicest guy in the world, like a teddy bear. But he looked intimidating. So we're getting closer and closer because we were working the event, but I really liked Rob Zombie. So they're like, okay, Mo, just go ahead and enjoy the show. So little by little, we're pushing our way through the crowd. Nobody wants to mess with the 6'10" guy.
No.
So we literally get front row at the railing in the middle of the mosh pit. Nobody's even trying to bump us because they're thinking this guy's going to like squash them. You
should take him everywhere.
No,
literally.
And if you've ever seen a Rob Zombie show, you got pyro, you got dancing robots and go-go zombie chicks. I mean, you just got all these weird over-the-top things. It's like watching B-rate movies in music form. It was outstanding.
Have you seen Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
I have.
I was going to say that laser light show. They go through a sort of whole story, but they're a good concert too. But I always get this look in my eye, and like my boyfriend knows it, and it's like I'm going to the front at this concert. Like no matter what, there'll be a moment that I switch, and I'm like, we're getting to the floor and we're getting to the front, and I'm always like, just follow the lead. And it's happened on I do that on a majority of concerts, but. I'm like, just walk and always find the male security guard. Never the woman. She'll never let you in.
No. Dylan loves A Day to Remember. I can understand that. Nathan said Metallica.
Oh my God, that's epic. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get that absolutely there.
What was your first concert? Because mine's really funny.
My first one?
Yeah.
Well, mine was the Out of the Shell tour, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rock concert. Thank you.
Yes.
I can't beat that.
Can you sing a song from it? I mean, other than what would it? I'd have
to like YouTube it because I don't remember any of the music. I just remember I got nunchucks. Cool. My dad bought me nunchucks. And I knew that my mom was going to yell at him.
Did you bring him to the concert? If that doesn't tell you back in the day, you were able to bring nunchucks.
Yep.
No, they sold them. I got them at the concert.
Times have certainly changed.
Yeah. And I just knew that my mom would yell at my dad for doing this thing that's going to hurt me and take my eye out. I remember loving it. Like we had Pizza Hut on the way. Like I remember so much about that day. Not the music.
Yeah. It's
Sarah, do you remember yours?
Honestly, I have no idea. The one I remember vividly is going to see Jethro Tull, Aqualung. I'm like, yeah. Well, my dad was a big fan, and I played the flute, and so like he really believed that maybe we look like flautists. Let's be honest. Yeah, I think you can look at somebody.
I can make American Pie jokes to both of you.
No, stop it.
My whole life.
Mo, did you play?
No, I have no musical talent at all.
Yeah, really? With that booming voice?
And they wanted me to sing, but this booming voice doesn't have a lot of range when it comes to,
all you need to do is like the boom, boom.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I literally was doing that. Like,
I've done that.
Yeah, exactly. You would
do that.
That would be your part in every Christmas Carol.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I actually was going to start today by wishing everybody a happy holidays to get everyone's reaction. Just to see how everybody felt about, who goes too early on the happy holidays.
I'm all for. I usually day after Thanksgiving. That's when you can start anything Christmas. But this year, I'm like, whatever, do whatever you want. Decorating now, go ahead. I don't care. It's 2020.
Two things. One, Nathan, I know the lyrics to Ninja Rap. I did not perform Ninja Rap. Otherwise, I would have done Ninja. I know that. I know Ninja Rap. How dare you challenge me? And two, Sarah, how have you been doing so amazing with the segues today?
Oh, I just feel the vibe, the chemistry between us.
Are you looking at my notes?
Really?
Are you cheating?
No. It's I just feel it, right? It's the gang. We're all together, guys.
Last stretch. Frankly, I think we renamed the show. It's no longer Table Talk. It's going to be, Shrine Talk or whatever at this point. Devon's out. The Shrine is in.
No.
He's fired.
So I actually wanted to talk about Christmas and holiday music as the last segment we have here. Because I hate holiday music. Hate it.
Really?
I'm this hardcore rocker.
All I want for Christmas. That's literally where cue Mariah Carey walking in. And
yeah. She hibernates during the spring and summer, and then first snowflake falls, and Mariah majestically shows up.
Bing Crosby and David Bowie. The Peace on Earth. The duet. Probably one of the best Christmas songs of all time.
I agree.
Okay, Lindsay agrees. Do you know that song?
No, that's fine. You guys could just talk about this.
No, but Mo, do you know it?
I know it. Yeah, of course I know it. Yeah.
Have you seen John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell do the version?
Yeah. They everything they touch is gold, in my opinion.
Truly. Do you think that they give, obviously we got them a lot in multiple movies all the time. Now I think they're having a little breath so we can have them back again and be excited. Right? They give a little moment.
They did that Sherlock Holmes movie that was it. Like, it's time to take a break on that one.
Yeah.
Well, those of you who love Christmas music and holiday music, you have that euphoria that you get excited and whatnot. However, new studies show that if you dislike holiday music like me, it actually worsens your mental health.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And how it does so is because a lot of people says it goes to our emotions. You think
you're angry. It's a lot of energy to be angry like that.
There's that. Well, then you think about how emotional the holidays can be and sentimental. It says that most people, as they get excited for holiday music, bypass rationality.
Okay.
I love that. I love it. It's like, okay, all right. But then Christmas music is more likely to irritate people if it's played too loudly or too early in the season.
I feel so terrible. I was walking through the mall and they have music playing, and it's those people that have to listen. And I'm sure they have the same playlist. Like I was in H&M and I was just thinking this poor woman that's listening, that they'll have this. But I was looking at my phone because I did get a text message from my brother already. No, because I sent a picture of Santa was actually in Florida, which I didn't expect there to be any Santas.
Behind a glass casing or what?
This is Florida, so we all know it's its own little entity.
The free for all.
A man in Florida.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, Florida man is now Santa.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But I think what it is that you sit 6 feet in front of Santa, and so that he's still in the shot. I did see a family, but he was a great Santa, the guy. But I sent it to my brother, and he said, "Too soon. Give me a break. I can't do this yet."
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah, no. I think it's too early for that. But it's almost Thanksgiving, so
I think right after Thanksgiving, that's a good time to start. But I don't want to listen.
Me too.
I did listen to Christmas music. My number one station on my press on my car, I think, might be a 24-hour Christmas station right now. I know.
Okay. It's this year. It's fine.
We had a moment with Weezer earlier, but you lost me with that comment there. So, no.
So
see, actually, it's funny because I'm on a rock station. We actually have something called the Christmas Free Guarantee, that the only literal day we play any holiday tunes, and it's all rock versions, is Christmas Day. Not even on Christmas Eve do we bust out Motorhead.
I mean, that's the end of the Trans-Siberian. They just wails on the. So good.
Yeah, it's great. That's so great.
Yeah, and Daniel again, Mr. Winner of the comments today. King Diamond, no presents for Christmas. Brian says Christmas music all year long for me. Quit sucking up, Brian.
Okay, Brian. Okay.
Yeah.
You said that people that listen to Christmas music too soon they're delusional. Is that what you said?
I think that's what he said.
No, it wasn't delusional. Was that the word you used?
It bypasses rationality.
Rationality, got it.
Close enough.
Isn't that the meaning of delusional?
Brian, what else in your life are you avoiding where you get lost in the Christmas music?
Do you need to talk about it?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say when we were talking about movies, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
So good.
It's classic.
I mean, I'll try to watch some of the movies to get in the swing of things, like Home Alone.
Home Alone
is one of my go-to.
Of course.
Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes.
Christmas movie. And I love Elf. I love Elf. That one actually gets me right here, man.
Yeah.
Right in the feels.
Yeah. No, right in the sternum. That's where it gets me. Not in the heart, but it gets me right in the sternum.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we had a question. Let me see if I can find it before we wrap this up real quick. Man, we got a lot of comments coming in today. We had a good one for you, Sarah. I can't find it now. I don't know.
Okay, all good.
Must not have been that good since I can't
I
find
know,
it now.
exactly. You know what it is about Christmas? Like we've always been a Thanksgiving family. Like cook the food, let's all talk, play games, no stress about presents. I think the presents thing makes people wacky. The parking lots are insane. Well, I guess shopping for food is also bonkers, but I just think the stress level at Christmas, but the joy of the lights and the singing and
the magic. It's so magical.
There is magic. But.
Yeah.
And as much as I crap on people that like that music any time of year, if you're embracing it early this year, I'm not going to give you grief about it because this year, anything you can do to stay happy or sane, I think just do it. Just do it at this point.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
that's why I think like I said, I hosted Thanksgiving not this past weekend just for like it was actually Nikki Cross that came over for dinner and Damo. So it's funny that we talked about it. But I went to go get anything Thanksgiving, nothing. I got a here. It's right over here. I have like one paper napkin of a turkey, but everything is gone. I just think that people are
Don't touch it. It's our one Thanksgiving napkin.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That's my decoration. But yeah, that it's just that people are ready to move into that right away. But Thanksgiving, I guess no one wants to be thankful. Everyone feeling frustrated right now. I guess
that must be it. No, I had a friend who decorated for Thanksgiving for Christmas before Halloween.
And you're no longer friends with that person, right?
I don't even remember her name.
Yeah,
okay, that's good. That's good.
No judgment.
Very last question here, and then we wrap up the special edition of Table Talk. It doesn't have to be a movie necessarily, but what's the favorite item you've acted in?
Well, I was going to say, we were talking about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. I think I talked about this when I worked alongside Bruce Willis. Didn't I talk about this last time?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw, I just was one of those moments where you just, till you're in that moment and you're doing stunts opposite Bruce Willis, you're just like, that was out of body. That was just wild. We were just holding hands the whole day. Not really talking much, very awkwardly, but still opposite Bruce Willis.
No, I heard Bruce doesn't like people talking to him unless he speaks to them first. Is that true?
Well, I did speak to him first.
I'm Sarah. I'm the Scribe. I can do what I want.
I knew I found he was from Jersey, so I found a middle, like, what do we have in common, right? Isn't that like a basic communication rule?
Yeah.
Find something in common and then everything's going to be fine. But yeah.
So if you want Sarah to come on every single week, let us know. Hit us up on the socials. Dvon should be back next week unless you tell us not to, and then we'll kick him out. Lindsay and I will take a vote.
We'll listen. Listen to you.
Sarah, sincerely, thank you so much for filling in, co-hosting with us the whole time, which is amazing. If people want to follow you, find you on social, where can they do so?
Sarah Schreiber on Instagram, Sarah Schreiber on Twitter, because I couldn't get my full name. And then I'll be having a podcast come out in the new year called, and I would love you guys to join at some point. We'll talk about it and everything. Yeah. It's called Exposed Roots because, we all need a little touch up. That's the punchline.
I do.
I know. I got a headband on.
Oh my gosh.
It was just all of us not being able to get our hair done and whatever. But it should be fun.
I agree completely, Laura. Yep. Sarah has been a wonderful co-host. You are welcome on every time. I mean it. Thank you so much. Lindsay, as always, a pleasure. And hopefully back to the usual grind with a guest next week here on Table Talk at WrestlingAudio.com.